In a place where the future is uncertain, nestled between the sprawling urban jungle and the whispering woods, lay the whimsical town of Whiskerville. This was a town where peculiar events were as common as the sun rising in the east. It was here that a young boy named Samuel found himself tangled in an adventure that was as hilarious as it was unexpected. Samuel was an ordinary boy with an extraordinary knack for finding trouble. His wild curls bounced with every step, and his eyes sparkled with mischief. One sunny afternoon, as Samuel wandered through the cobblestone streets of Whiskerville, he stumbled upon a curious scene outside the town's most infamous establishment, the Purring Palace. The Purring Palace was a lively, neon-lit nightclub known for its eccentric clientele and nightly jazz performances. But today, the air was thick with tension, and a crowd had gathered. Samuel, ever the curious cat, pushed his way to the front and saw the notorious gangster, Big Whiskers, pacing nervously. Big Whiskers was a formidable feline, feared and respected by all. But today, he looked more flustered than fierce. Standing next to him was a towering figure with a comically oversized hat and a look of utter bewilderment. This was Bumbling Bob, a bodyguard whose reputation was more for his clumsiness than his competence. Big Whiskers had hired Bob to protect him during a high-stakes poker game that evening. However, Bob, with his gangling limbs and perpetual confusion, was clearly in over his head. As Big Whiskers explained the situation to the crowd, Samuel couldn't help but feel a thrill of excitement. This was the perfect opportunity for an adventure. The poker game was set to take place in the basement of the Purring Palace, a place where secrets were whispered and fortunes were won or lost. As the sun set, casting a golden hue over Whiskerville, Samuel hatched a plan. He would sneak into the game to see the action firsthand. As the game began, the tension in the room was palpable. The players, a motley crew of cats and critters, eyed each other suspiciously over their cards. Big Whiskers was in his element, his poker face as inscrutable as ever. But Bob, standing awkwardly behind him, was a bundle of nerves. Just as the game reached its climax, a loud crash echoed through the room. Bob, in his attempt to look intimidating, had knocked over a stack of chairs, causing a domino effect that sent the entire room into chaos. Cards flew, drinks spilled, and the players erupted into a cacophony of yowls and squawks. Amidst the pandemonium, Samuel saw his chance. He darted forward, grabbing the attention of Big Whiskers and Bob. With a quick nod, he signaled them to follow him out of the chaos and into the safety of the night. Outside, under the twinkling stars, Big Whiskers burst into laughter, a sound so rare that it startled even the crickets. "Kid, you got us out of there just in time," he chuckled, patting Samuel on the back. Bob, relieved and grateful, gave Samuel a sheepish grin. From that night on, an unlikely friendship blossomed. Samuel became the brains behind their escapades, while Bob provided the muscle, albeit clumsily. Together, they embarked on a series of misadventures, each more ridiculous than the last. They thwarted rival gangs with pies instead of punches, and solved mysteries with laughter instead of logic. In the end, it was Samuel's quick thinking and Bob's bumbling charm that turned Big Whiskers' life around. The notorious gangster found himself less feared and more loved, his reputation transformed from menacing to merry. And so, in the whimsical town of Whiskerville, where the future is uncertain and the past is a blur, a boy, a bodyguard, and a gangster discovered that the best adventures are those shared with friends, and a little laughter along the way.